Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Chapter 5, A Race to Get Dry. When the mouse heard Alice calling, he turned around and swam slowly toward her. With a trembling voice, he said,
"Let's swim to shore. After I tell you my story, you'll understand why I hate cats and dogs."
Alice was happy to get out of the salt water. The pool was getting crowded with birds. Alice led the way, and everyone swam to shore. It was an odd-looking group that gathered at the edge of the pool. Everyone, including Alice, was dripping wet, grumpy, and uncomfortable. The main question was how to get dry again. The creatures discussed this among themselves, and Alice soon joined in. She wasn't surprised anymore that she could talk to birds and animals, or that they could talk to her. In fact, she had a long argument with the parrot.
"We need towels,"
Alice finally said.
"Lots and lots of towels. That's the fastest way to dry off."
"You're completely wrong," the parrot said. "Birds never use towels."
"Do you have a better idea?"
Alice was getting tired of arguing about towels. "I'm older than you are, so I know more than you do," the parrot replied.
"Really, parrot? How old are you anyway?"
But the parrot refused to reveal her age, so that was the end of the argument. Fortunately, the mouse took charge of the group.
"Sit down, everyone, and I'll tell you my story while you dry. My family has a long, sad history with cats and..."
The duck said with a shiver.
"I beg your pardon?"
The mouse said.
"Did you say something?"
But before the duck could reply, the dodo spoke up.
"I know how to get dry. We'll have a race."
Alice looked around the hall.
"Where will we race?"
The dodo was already marking off a rough circle.
"The exact shape of the course doesn't matter,"
he said when he finished. It was the strangest race that Alice had ever seen. There was no starting line because the dodo let everyone start in different spots. And he didn't say,
"On your mark, get set, go."
Instead, the creatures started whenever they liked. When they'd been running for 30 minutes, the dodo called out,
"The race is over."
Everyone was now dry and happy. The birds gathered around the dodo.
"But who is the winner?"
one asked. This was a puzzling question, which the dodo thought about for a long time. At last he said,
"Everybody has won, and all must have prizes."
"But who will give out the prizes?"
a bird asked.
"She will, of course."
The dodo pointed to Alice. Everyone crowded around her, shouting,
"Prizes! Prizes!"
Alice had no idea what to do. But reaching into her pocket, she found a box of candies. Luckily, they'd stayed dry, and she had enough to give everyone one piece. However, there wasn't one left for herself.
"But you must have a prize!"
The mouse insisted.
"Of course."
The dodo replied. He turned to Alice.
"What else do you have in your pocket?"
"Only a thimble,"
Alice said.
"Hand it over,"
the dodo commanded her. They all crowded around Alice once again as the dodo solemnly awarded her the thimble. After he had finished a short speech, everyone cheered. Alice thought the whole thing was silly, but the birds looked so serious that she didn't dare laugh. So she simply bowed, thinking about what strange creatures she'd met in the rabbit hole. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Chapter 6. A Long Tale. After the prizes were given out, it was time to eat them. Alice did not eat her thimble, of course, but the other creatures ate their candy. The large birds complained that the candy was so small they couldn't taste it. The small birds coughed and choked on their candy because it was so large. But after a while, everyone settled down. The creatures sat in a circle and begged the mouse to tell them his story.
You promised to tell me about your family,
Alice said.
And why you hate C and D.
She didn't say cats and dogs. She didn't want to upset the mouse again.
Mine is a long and sad tale.
The mouse began. Alice studied the mouse's body.
You definitely have a long tail, but I don't understand why it's sad.
No, not my tail.
The mouse said impatiently.
My tail, as in story?
He went on talking. Meanwhile, Alice kept thinking about words that sound alike but have different meanings.
Now, do you understand why I don't like cats?
The mouse said to Alice.
What?
Alice looked at him and blinked.
You weren't paying attention,
the mouse said angrily.
I don't know why I bothered telling you this story.
He started to walk away. Alice felt bad that she had upset him again.
Please, come back and repeat your story,
she called after him.
I promise to listen to every word this time.
Yes, please do come back,
all the others said together. But the mouse only shook his head impatiently and walked faster.
What a pity he wouldn't stay,
the parrot sighed.
I wish Dinah was here,
Alice said.
She would fetch him for us.
And who is Dinah, if I may ask?
The parrot said.
Dinah's my cat. She's so good at catching mice.
Alice replied eagerly, for she was always happy to talk about her pet.
And you should see her chasing birds.
All the birds started talking at once, and some hurried away as fast as they could. One old magpie began wrapping himself in a scarf.
I really must be going. This air is bad for my throat.
A canary called out in a trembling voice to her children.
Come away, my dears. It's time for us to go home.
Alice was soon left all alone.
I wish I'd never mentioned Dinah,
she said sadly.
Nobody seems to like her down here, but I think she's the best cat in the world. Oh, Dinah. I wonder if I'll ever see you again.
Poor Alice began to cry because she felt so lonely and sad. In a little while, however, she heard footsteps. She looked up eagerly, hoping that the mouse had changed his mind and was coming back. But once again, it was the white rabbit. This time he was walking slowly and looking anxiously about, as if he'd lost something. Alice heard him muttering to himself.
The Duchess! The Duchess!
the White Rabbit said as he looked high and low.
Oh, my paws! Oh, my fur and whiskers! The Duchess is going to be so angry if I'm late. I wonder where I could have dropped them. I don't see them anywhere.
Alice guessed right away that he was looking for his gloves and fan. She happily began hunting for them, but they were nowhere to be seen. In fact, everything had changed. She seemed to be outdoors now. The great hall with the glass table and little door had disappeared.